got the bloodlust.
Me too.
I want to kill. Let's kill.
Hello, listeners, and welcome to The Bloodlust. This is your go-to podcast for classy broads talking horror since 2014. This is episode 302 of the program. Tonight we are talking about passenger, car horror, van life horror.
I love being inside of a car.
Sure. I didn't need an excuse not to participate in van life, but if I did, here's one.
Here's another.
My name's Amy. I am your fearless leader. I am joined, as always, by my lovely and talented co-host, Kay.
Hi.
Hi. Feeling better?
No.
No.
Never.
Well, listeners, we just said goodbye to our foster kitties today.
Oh.
They went to their new homes. And hopefully that means Kay will be able to breathe at some point in the near future.
It's hard to say. Maybe, maybe not.
We hope.
Yeah.
We hope.
Fingers crossed.
So, as of now, yes, you are going to have another episode of snottiness.
Yeah.
And we apologize for that.
But not too much, because you're not even going through it. I am.
And I kind of am too.
That's true.
So, listeners, Passenger is, like I said last episode, car horror. And at the beginning of this episode. So, I figured for the intro to this episode, we would talk about some other car horror movies, because Kay laughed when I said that, as if there weren't that many.
Yeah. Amy, before we even went, Amy was like, I like the genre of car horror. And I was like, that's the craziest sentence I've ever heard.
Well, it's a thing.
Yeah.
And it has its roots from pretty far back. There's a famous Twilight Zone episode about a hitchhiker who the character sees over and over again that she doesn't pick up, who is kind of a Grim Reaper type character.
Dum-dum.
And there's also The Hitchhiker, which came out in 1953, directed by a lady, Ida Lupino. Not very common back in the 50s for a lady to direct movies.
Sure. Especially not in the horror genre.
Yeah.
That's not for the delicate of heart.
Right, the delicate sensibilities of a woman.
Yeah.
But I've seen this movie, and it's cool. I liked it. It's a suspenseful, kind of creepy killer person movie. And there's also The Hitcher, which stars Rutger Hauer. And I've seen that recently, too. That's from the 80s and 86. And I didn't really like that movie very much.
No.
So I was pleasantly surprised by The Hitchhiker at 53, but The Hitcher from 86 I didn't like.
They can't all be bangers, I guess.
No, they cannot. So there's different types of car horror. There is, like, your killer cars. Christine. Yes, it's a thing.
No, I'm listening and I'm learning.
Yeah. So you've got the killer car movies, and there are several of them. There's one just called The Car. There's also a movie called Rubber from 2010, which is awesome, directed by Quentin Dupieux, who also made Deerskin, which is also really weird and awesome, and it is about a tire that kills people.
Not even a full car?
Nope, a
Just
tire.
watch out. Mm-hmm. I'm going to ram into your belly and knock you down.
Yes. So there's the killer car movies, and then there's also another type of car-based horror, which is the road trip horror movie. And there's many of those.
Yeah, this makes sense to me.
There's lots and lots. One of the best movies of all time, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that is a road trip horror movie.
Sure.
A road trip gone horribly wrong.
Horribly. The Second and the Pearl.
Yes, X. That is another one.
I know.
Very good.
Thank you.
Very good. There have been all kinds. Race with the Devil from 1975. There was also older ones. Duel, we talked about last episode. The Steven Spielberg. It was a TV movie that he made. It's so good. So suspenseful. Really good action-y horror. And then there were a bunch of modern ones, like Joyride with Paul Walker from 2001, and Death Proof, the Quentin Tarantino movie. And in Creepshow 2, there's another, like, hitchhiker one. The anthology Southbound is about, like, a bunch of different stories on a highway, so each of them has kind of a road trip element to them. There's Dead End from 2003 that has Ray Wise, Leland Palmer from Twin Peaks, and Lynn Shay, who you might know from the Insidious movies. That one's really wacky. And there's a really funny Lynn Shay scene in that where, like, the back of her head is exposed. You can see, like, her brain, but she's still, like, talking but starting to act really bizarre and, like, hypersexual. It's a very strange scene.
Well, that's what happens when you lose that part of your brain.
Or it's just exposed to the air. I don't know.
That makes you sexual.
Highly sexual. There's Jeepers Creepers. That is also a road trip movie from 2001.
I know that one.
You know that one. Did you know that that movie was directed by a convicted pedophile?
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Convicted pedophiles do a lot of things.
Don't they?
They just get to do anything.
They can do anything nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on. I just remember the theme, like, not the theme song, but, like, I remember the opening music to it.
To what?
It was
Jeepers Creepers?
Jeepers Creepers. Where'd you get those peepers?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
The adaptation of Children of the Corn, and also the short story Children of the Corn from the 80s, the Linda Hamilton movie. That is also a road trip movie about people moving across the country. House of a Thousand Corpses, that's another road trip movie. There are some movies where people are, like, trapped in their car, like Cujo, which I admittedly have not seen because I'm scared that I will be too sad about the dog. But I know that they spend a good amount of that movie just trapped in a car. Is that all of the ones I can think of? I think so. Oh, there's also a really weird car horror movie called Titan that came out in, 2023? 2021, by the same director who made Raw. And that is about a woman who is sexually attracted to cars, who has sexual congress with a car. Not in a car, with a car.
It's hilarious that they picked a female to do that. I feel like of any people that are going to be in love with their car, it's going to be a guy.
Right.
It's definitely going to be a guy.
In that documentary that I saw, which I can't remember the name of, about people who fall in love with weird things.
Yeah.
There was a guy who was in love with his car and considered it his romantic partner.
Sure.
And I think it's not uncommon.
No.
So, but no, this one, it's a lady, and the car does impregnate her.
Oh.
Yeah.
Tailpipe?
No, she's in the car.
Oh.
Well,
then it
she's-
has to be a gear shifter situation,
yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
All right.
And so she is impregnated by this car, and she does leak motor oil from her nipples.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on and suckle up, baby car.
That's right.
Ah, mama's teat.
So that's kind of an uncategorizable car horror movie. This one is a road trip
Let's
movie,
stop
and I
the
suppose
podcast right now and let's go watch.
You
want to
go watch
movie.
that? Yeah, you might like that. You might like it.
Sorry, go on.
Passenger, I would say, is a road trip movie. It's also, like I said, a van life movie. Not a killer car. The car doesn't really try to kill them, but the bad guy in it makes their own car try to kill them, I suppose.
Sure.
So
And
kind of,
the bad guy can scoot the car. That's fun.
yeah, that's fun. Yeah, I liked that. So, listeners, let us know your favorite car-related horror movies.
Or any just car-related movies.
Sure.
We're talking Cars, Cars 2, Crossroads,
Crossroads. Yeah, Case tried to add that one on to the list several times.
Britney Spears movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Little Miss Sunshine.
Aw. Yeah, that is a good one.
All right. Let us know.
Yeah, let us know which ones you like. And without further ado, let's start talking about Passenger.
Passenger.
Passenger. This movie is rated R. It has a runtime of 1 hour and 34 minutes. It was directed by Andre Overdahl. He also made, like I said last time, Troll Hunter, which is a found footage movie, The Autopsy of Jane Doe, and the last or final, I can never remember, Voyage of the Demeter. It was written by Zachary Donohue and T.W. Burgess. It stars Jacob Scipio, Lou Llobell, and Melissa Leo. Oscar winner, Melissa Leo. Kind of surprising to see her in this. It was released in the US in theaters May 22nd of this year. On Rotten Tomatoes, currently it is 44% fresh with critics and 52% fresh with the audience.
Oh, all right.
This movie is a Paramount release. Paramount kind of just unceremoniously dumped it into this past weekend. There wasn't, except for a trailer that got a good amount of buzz, it really wasn't promoted very much. And the fact that Paramount decided to release it in between when Obsession came out and when Backrooms is coming out is kind of diabolical. Because it's going to suffer in comparison to those movies.
Oh.
I would assume.
Yeah.
Also after Hokum.
A little sacrifice.
Yeah, I mean, I think they should have just held on to it personally. So what's it about? It is about this couple, Tyler and Maddie. They have just moved out of a beautiful Brooklyn apartment.
Not in Brooklyn. For sure not in Brooklyn.
No. Well, who knows? Because they sound like they must be independently wealthy.
Sure.
She retired from her job and she's early 30s at most.
Yeah. I hear you. And also, that's not an apartment in Brooklyn.
They don't have buildings that old there? Is that what you're saying?
It's just like too much space. They would have chopped it up into multiple apartments.
Touche, babe. So they moved out of this apartment into a converted van. Also very beautiful van.
Yeah.
Really nice color.
Well, she's an interior designer.
Oh,
that was her last that was her last project before she retired.
So they're planning on living on the road. So we see them as they move out of their apartment, and then we see them, it flashes to 6 weeks later when Maddie is kind of over it. And they witness a crash after a car is driving erratically next to them.
Right.
And once they stop to possibly help this person, they pick up a passenger.
A hitchhiker from hell?
Yeah. Isn't that what a highwayman from hell?
A
Is
highwayman from hell? Is that what they pick up?
So this entity starts to, at first, only torment Maddie, but then eventually the both of them. Makes her see things, pops up, just generally menaces her.
Just kind of spooky. Just generally spooky.
Just kind of hangs around. Seems to be immediately deadly for other people, but...
He likes playing with them.
Yeah.
That's what Diane says.
That's evidently. And the trailer, which was very popular, basically only features the opening segment of this movie, which has two other characters. It's kind of like the way that Scream does, with an opening kill. And it's these two guys, and the one has to pee because he
just keeps drinking
chugging
too much water.
Yeah. And it's a funny segment, and it's really scary, and I think it got a lot of people's hopes really high for the movie.
Yeah, I wanted that movie.
Yeah.
I still kind of want that movie.
I do too. So what did you think about this? I don't have a whole lot of trivia or anything about this. I do like this director, although I think his movies started really strong and have gotten progressively less good.
Sure. I mean,
He also did the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark movie. Which was pretty good. But not as good as the one before it that he did, and not as good as the one before that.
well, I
Anyway.
guess that proves your point.
It does.
Yeah. I thought it was very fun.
Yeah.
It wasn't a thinker.
No.
It wasn't like really preaching any sort of lesson at all.
No.
But that being said, I had a lot of fun. I think that the amount of jump scares that they had that were really effective was crazy high. Like,
Yes, I
they
agree.
did a lot of jump scares, and most of them worked.
I would say more than Hokum.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, yep.
And I think that it had some very interesting camera work that I really liked.
For example?
For example, there was two that I really liked. I liked when they were watching that movie on the projector,
Yes.
and then the highwayman from Hale comes up, and she picks up the projector, and she's using it like a flashlight to find him in the dark.
Which is
And-
very smart because they're super bright.
Yeah. And they just, like, as she's slowly turning, you can watch the actors who are upside down, just happenstance because of the way that she picked it up, but you could see the actors' faces on each of the trees as she's slowly moving. And it was just so cool. And, like, yeah, I've never seen that before.
Me neither. I loved that. And it was Roman Holiday with Gregory Peck and Audrey Hepburn.
Boom. And the other one was when the hazard lights were on.
Yeah.
And she was slowly walking around the van, and the amount of tension that they got from, just the only sound being those
Bink bonk.
beat, hazard lights. And then they played with, like, the length between them.
Right.
So, like, that was fucking with your brain of, like, I don't know. That was really good tension. That was really good to watch. Like, I liked it.
Yeah, those are the two that stood out to me also.
Yeah.
I really liked it visually, and I think he has a nice amount of control over what's happening and in building suspense.
Yeah, for sure.
What else did you think about it?
I think that we could have gotten some cooler material if they would have been fucking influencers.
Yeah.
Shouldn't everyone just, like, everyone in van life, either you've been doing it for 20 years or you're trying to be an influencer.
Right. Either you're doing it like for nomad land reasons where you have to sell your house and
Right.
go work seasonally at jobs out of necessity, or you're a rich kid.
Yeah. And they did poke fun at that, like the other
But
van
just
life
very
people.
briefly.
But yeah, I think that if they were vlogging, then we would have all that footage too.
Right. I also think that they kind of wasted the all the cameras that were set up around their van.
Oh, yeah.
And being able to see all of them.
Only
and
swiping through it for that one scene when
Yeah.
they were in the gym parking lot.
Right. Yeah, I think that they could have used that better to their advantage for sure. I think van life is a really good subject for a movie like this.
For sure.
I think the writing was pretty poor. I think it's well directed, and I don't think that this director generally does write his movies. I kind of think he wrote Troll Hunter and that's it. And so I wonder if... I think that they just need to find him writers that are as good as he is.
Yeah.
Personally, because I do think, this was edited nicely. It looked nice. It had a nice momentum all the way through.
Yeah.
The action starts right away.
Yeah.
And it just keeps going. And the action sequences work nicely. And the scares were effective.
Right.
Like you said. I just think that, the writing was not as good as the rest of it. And the
And-
performances were also nothing to write home about.
She got an Oscar for this movie. So,
Yeah, they wasted her.
I think also whoever wrote this or
Those two guys.
edited it and did not catch the major plot point that, like, who is not even engaged yet decides to quit her job,
Right.
pull out her 401k, like, retirement, like, completely quit the job, and sell the apartment and whatever. And they haven't talked about whether this is going to be a 2-year endeavor or if this is going to be
The rest of their
whole
life? Also, it's revealed that the main character, and it's only mentioned in the scene directly before it, so you can tell it was just, let's write this in real quick so that we can, make it a plot point, which was really clumsy. She grew up in foster homes and didn't have a
stable home.
Right. The idea that she would have been on board at all at the beginning of this seems weird to me.
Yeah.
And the idea that the boyfriend was shocked when she said she wasn't into it for the long haul was wild. So that was strange, and just, like I said, a symptom of poor writing.
Yeah.
I also kind of feel like I would have preferred this to be a more contained story. And by that I mean I would have liked it if all the events took place on the road, maybe over the course of like 1 or 2 days at the most. And I think it would have made more sense lore-wise for the passenger to be connected to one particular stretch of highway.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Or just follow the rules at all. Like, the rules are nighttime, don't stop, stay off the dark roads. So, like, presumably that's where he has to stay.
Right. But then,
or else why would they even put that as one of the rules? So then they're in the gym parking lot.
Right.
And he's there too, like,
I mean, maybe once he gets you, he
can follow you wherever.
He can follow you wherever because he's marked your car.
All right.
I don't know. Yeah, a lot of movies suffer from this, so I can't single this out as being totally egregious or anything. But yeah, the rules of this monster are not clear, and the monster does not follow them.
No, he does what he wants.
It's also a case of showing a monster that seems to be really omnipresent and able to do a lot of things.
Yeah, he had some powers.
Right, and then choosing to have him toy with the characters when he could have killed them several times.
Oh, yeah. He's literally... Other than the van falling on leg, he doesn't hurt them for the first 3/4 of the movie.
Yeah.
Which he also, the main character forgot that his shin just got ripped apart.
Yeah.
And just starts running.
Right.
Whoopsies. Adrenaline is a hell of a thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think that sometimes it is okay to just make a horror movie that's fun and doesn't have bigger ideas. And I did also have fun seeing this.
Yeah.
So, but it's silly, and some of the stuff I laughed at the movie and not with the movie, you know?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Like, but I did laugh at with them at the horn on their van. And it took me halfway through the movie to remember what that song was. It's the Hawaii Five-0 theme, which is a show I'm too young to have seen that show, but somehow I still know the theme song.
I wouldn't have been able to tell you where it was from, but it's definitely a classic tune.
Okay. I also did like the scene in the gym parking lot, even though it is...
Breaking the rules.
It is breaking the rules, but I really thought that scene was creepy. You've got the cameras showing all the different views once she gets in there, but before that, I really liked her walking towards the van, getting spooked and turning around, and then turning back around, and the van was further away.
Moved.
I liked that. I thought that was creepy. You hated it?
No. I have completely different instincts from her. The first time that I turned around and the van fucking moved,
I would have gone to the gym.
Running back to the boyfriend. Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
2 is better than 1. Even if you made it across that creepy ass parking lot, then what?
Then you're in the van by yourself.
Cool.
Right. There's also a lot of reference to St. Christopher in this, which does make sense because St. Christopher is the patron saint of travelers. My first car had a St. Christopher medal in it because I bought it off my grandma, and that's what she hung in her car. It was hanging from the rearview mirror. It didn't help me from not wrecking my car a million times, but that was more my fault than the Lord. But I did like the
St. Christopher could have helped.
Yeah. I did like the hobo code stuff. I think that stuff is interesting. I used to know a dude that had a lot of those symbols tattooed on his hands.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, when I liked the hobo code stuff, I thought it would be more of like a progression of symbols.
Yeah.
Because they made such a big deal about how Diane had to go with them because they wouldn't be able to read the signs.
Right.
So I thought like it was going to like spell out a whole sentence or whatever. No, it was a circle with an arrow. Exactly like the one they already have in their book. Right. So I think they're going to figure it out, Diane.
Yeah.
Diane.
I had the same thought, babe. I really did.
What? Ooh, they'll never be able to figure it out.
I will say that, realisticness-wise, the windshield was gross in their car.
Yeah.
They got that right. I think it was funny to me thinking about, and maybe this is when the edibles kicked in at the theater, but it was funny to me thinking about the people, the set design people trying to recreate bug guts on a windshield.
Yeah.
And how much of
poop.
them to put on. Yeah.
You know what I was thinking about at
foray?
that time? No, when the edibles hit. I was like, actually, I do know that it is a requirement that you have to clean your windshields for semi-truck drivers. I wonder if that's I wonder if the police can enforce that for van life people. That's what I was thinking about.
I don't think people with that kind of van, like that size, need special licenses, so I doubt special rules like that would apply.
Sure.
But interesting.
That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah. Other stuff that I liked. I think I got all the stuff I liked.
We already flew past those.
I think the movie does a lot of showing us and also telling us to the point where I felt a little insulted in some points. You know,
like which ones?
Like the part that I mentioned earlier about I grew up in foster care,
right.
and then, and things like that. Or I believe at the end, not to spoil anything yet, but there's a comment that they find out about trying to get the monster on holy ground.
Right.
And she literally says holy ground at the end during a part. It was just a little bit... I'm belaboring the point that the writing. The writing is poor. Yeah. The pair in the opening scene definitely had much better chemistry.
For sure.
And I would have enjoyed... And the writing seemed a lot better in that point, too.
I just think that they carried it well as just two best buds being on a road trip, possibly dating, because I do think that his buddy's face was on his phone.
Oh, yeah.
But anyways, whatever. I'm just making up a prequel in my mind, you see.
I would have liked the movie to be all about them instead.
Yeah.
Personally. The scariest part of the movie, to me, was when they showed a gas station. And it was $3.69.
Stupid. See yourself out. See yourself out.
Sorry. I always look at the gas prices in movies because generally the movie's taking place in a bigger city than we're in, and it's much more expensive. And I'm like, at least I can afford things. But yeah.
At that gas station, though, I thought they were just going to pass off the passenger to that couple taking a selfie.
Right.
Why didn't they do that?
Well, they probably didn't know
They would have had
how do you do it?
You'd have to like stage an accident so that they would be compelled to help you.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I was pleased that they didn't have the boyfriend not believe her the whole time, because I was worried that it was going that way.
Yeah.
And I was already starting to hate him because of the way...
He jumped on board really fast, though.
He did. I mean, not totally really fast.
Yeah, he didn't believe her. He didn't believe her. And also, the third time, he saw it for himself. So,
Right.
I'm not giving him a lot of accolades for believing her.
Well, he did say he believed her before he saw anything himself, but I didn't feel like he actually believed her.
Right.
Which I guess is okay acting on his part, so kudos to you. There's two very stupid things that... One for each of the main characters in this.
Go on.
I think you'll know probably both of them. The first is there's a proposal in this, and if I had planned a whole hot springs thing and you insisted on getting barbecue first and then we missed our appointment, I'd be mad.
I know that I would have backed down the first time you were like, you know what, let's just try to get there. I'd be like, good idea.
Because we're both people pleasers.
That's right.
Yeah.
But they are not.
So anyways, there's a proposal, and afterwards she's playing with her brand new engagement ring.
Insane. There's no way that ring would be off your finger.
Right. She's loosely playing with it on the very tips of her fingers while she's driving.
Like she's doing a magic trick with a coin. That's how she's flinging it through her fingers.
So guess what happens, listeners? And then the other one, which is the one that the guy does, is he's changing a tire and he just takes the bolts off and he throws them on the ground.
Sure.
On the gray gravel ground that happens to look exactly like a bunch of bolts.
Yeah.
Who does that?
And then the ghost Spooky picks him up.
Right.
Because the ghost can move things.
Right. Yes. So he's a man. I know he has pockets. Men's clothes always have lots of pockets.
Or
Put them in your pocket, bruv.
Wifey is standing there holding the flashlight
Give
for
them to
you.
her.
Hand them to her.
Never have I ever seen anyone
Just throw them willy-nilly on the
throw
ground.
them on the ground.
Not even like placing them side by side so you can double check they're still
Right.
there. Yeah, that was dumb. But I think the ring was dumber. Like, I think that you could have still made the scene with distracted driving. You know, she's going to be just staring at it.
Right.
It's a brand new sparkly ring.
She
and she's
should've-
happy. So she would be looking at it.
Yes.
And you could do distracted driver like that
That's
instead
exactly what should have happened.
instead of dropping it on the ground.
And it would have been super realistic if
Right.
it happened that way.
Right.
Overall, listeners,
I feel like I just got really upset about that.
I was upset about that.
I'm riled.
It will never stop bothering me in movies the way that they film people driving cars. It has bothered me since I started watching movies.
Yeah.
And it's so rare to see like a realistic driving scene.
Right.
It drives me crazy. And it does seem like we were talking about yesterday, like you said, it does seem like movie makers are now wise to the fact that it's a joke at this point.
That if you take your eyes off the road for 1 second, you're definitely going to crash because that's how it was for, I don't know.
No, I think that they've gotten wise to the fact that viewers are aware that when people are driving in movies, they're not going to be watching the road. So they try and play on that now with, oh, they're going to get in an accident. But now every time we see somebody driving in a movie, I feel like they're going to get in an accident.
Right. And I think this movie did actually do... Number one, I understand that it is a movie that is all about driving. That being said, I do think that they did wait quite a while before the crash did happen. So you kind of felt that tension every time they were driving, like, what the fuck is going to go wrong? What's going to go wrong? What's going to go wrong?
Other than the crash that happens at the very beginning.
Well, yeah. That's just road rage, babe.
Which we don't really even see.
Yeah.
Overall, I found this enjoyable. I don't think it's necessarily worth seeing in theaters.
No.
Especially because there's other stuff out that deserves being seen in theaters more. But I feel like once this comes on streaming, it's a fun watch. It's also not very gross.
No.
And that is generally, and in fact,
just Diane's neck and the leg.
The leg was really brief and wasn't nearly as gross as I thought it was going to be.
I covered my eyes because the idea of what was about to happen was already so gross that I was like, I don't need to watch this.
Personally, the really quick kill of the one character looked super fake to me. I would think this could have been a PG-13 for the amount of gore and violence that's in it.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm kind of desensitized. So
and also you don't have children, so we don't really know what 13-year-olds can handle, but
I just think this would be okay, but I'm not a parent.
Yeah.
What do you want to rate this?
I'd go right in the middle. I'd just go 3. I had fun watching it. I thought there was a couple of very beautiful things. I thought it looked pretty realistic. I liked their stupid little, like, rich people athletic chic outfits. Yeah. I coveted every single one. Maybe not the Patagonia, but her little outfits were so cute. Yeah, I had a lot of fun watching it. I felt like it was pretty believable in the outside of the supernatural stuff. And I wasn't mad at the way the supernatural stuff looked.
I think I'm also going to give it a 3. I was kind of going back and forth between 2.5 and 3, but I did enjoy it.
Yeah.
I wasn't annoyed by the silly stuff. I just kind of... It's more in thinking about it afterwards, I think, that...
Yeah, I think that the problem is that it's not silly enough to be like, you know, a Scream or something that knows that it's funny and is playing on it. Like... Right. Yeah, I didn't mind them either, though, but I honestly never do. You know.
Watch it when it comes on streaming. You could do worse.
Yeah.
I do wish more of it... I wish that more of it took place in the car while they were driving. Because there are some really fun scenes where she keeps seeing the passenger on the side of the road and keeps driving past him and stuff. And that worked. All that stuff worked.
Yeah.
I would have liked it to be more in the car.
But then you'd have to take out the face smooshing its way through the projector screen.
No, because they can stop and sleep for the night.
No, I was just joking. I just meant time-wise. Well, then you got to get rid of that. Are you going to miss it? Little face through the sheet?
No.
Okay, me neither. That one was stupid.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk some spoilers here.
Spoilies!
Yeah. I felt that the monster was shown too much towards the end.
Sure.
I feel like the initial views of him were good. The ones we saw him on the side of the road. The ones we saw him, like, in the car next to the guy.
When he was behind the faces in the projector light.
Yeah. Those were all good.
Not to be confused about the one that I just made fun of behind this projector screen.
Right.
That was dumb.
But the more they showed him, the worse he looked. He started to look very, I don't know, Undertaker from WWE, or like a bigger Iggy Pop, or just not quite as scary once you saw his face more.
I also wish that they would have given him more rules, more expand upon the lore. All we know is he's a highwayman from hell.
Right.
Like, you don't know what if he has a specific amount of days to do something in or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
does he do this every year? Does he do this? We are given to understand that he's been doing this for a long time. She does something else that I don't care for in movies that I find a lazy writing conceit.
Info dump?
She looks on the internet and finds a website about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they, give you time to read along with her.
Right.
Yeah.
And we also get hints from this character it's Melissa Leo playing Frances McDormand's character from Nomadland, who helps her, even though she says immediately before that she's not going to help them, but then she helps them. I don't know why, but I like you guys. I'm going to help you.
I've been out here staying away from this man for 20 years, but I'm immediately going to tell you.
Help these folks I just met.
I'll just get on the road at night.
Which I just told you couldn't do.
You're not supposed to. Everyone is actually afraid that you're going to bring the curse here. Everyone's packing up for the night, but not me.
I'm going to take you.
I'll be with you guys.
And much like Dick Halloran and also Jerry from the Woods from Hokum from the last episode, she's basically immediately dispatched.
Yeah.
And I didn't care for that scene. That was stupid.
The
Also, he didn't care about fucking with her.
Yeah.
He can just do what he feels. I don't know.
You would think that he would be trying to get her because she's been on the road for so long.
Right. And she could lead him to so many more other people.
Yeah. Anyways, she dies before they even get out of the van, parking area.
But she does give them the tip that they need, which is that supposedly the passenger, there's a story from the Bible about Saint Christopher traveling with someone who turns out to be a monster or a devil or something. And so they're saying that is the passenger and that he puts himself out there as the anti-Saint Christopher. So the Saint Christopher medal that the boyfriend makes a big deal about in the beginning of the movie then, of course, comes into play, except that it doesn't really seem to protect you from him because they hang 1 million of them in the van and he just sucks them all out at one point.
Yeah. I mean, I think that one time that she hurt him could have also been because she had a shard of glass attached to that rearview mirror that also had the St. Christopher necklace on it. I don't think it was just the necklace, my guy.
Right. But then Diane gives them the tip to find this church out in the middle of nowhere that is named after St. Christopher, where the demon can be killed because he's weaker there.
Yeah.
On holy ground. And so at one point, she literally does the brake slam and sends the monster flying.
Yeah.
Into a statue of St. Christopher.
Yeah, it was giving Scooby-Doo, but honestly, if you gave me $1 billion, I would not be like, oh, okay, this driving movie, I know how it ends. They're going to ram the van and the devil into a statue of St. Christopher, pierce through the damn heart. Oh my god.
That's how they get him.
In the church, because this passenger from hell has some sort of backstory about being a part.
Beef with St. Christopher. That's how it ends.
Pretty fun.
They get away unscathed, and their van burns up. What happens, do you suppose, in a situation like that? Are they going to get insurance? What are they going to get back?
Yeah, they have
insurance?
to have insurance on the van already.
But how could they prove they didn't set it on fire? There's nothing out in that field
She
except...
crashed into the statue 27 times, so it's going to look like she smashed into something and it set itself ablaze.
It's going to look like she did that deliberately.
Well, hopefully they don't need the money. Also, they're not going back to Brooklyn, which is crazy because if they're deciding that they're never going to drive again, you need to get your ass back to the city. You're going to go to the suburbs and then not drive anywhere?
Trust me, you can't. I tried.
Dummies. Go back to Brooklyn. Go back to work. You're too young.
Right.
What are you going to do?
What were they planning on doing? Also, just to be a little more nitpicky since we're doing this.
Yeah, I'm having fun. Then another thing.
And another thing. He meets this van life influencer. At
He's
Burning
fangirling a
Van.
burning van.
And they're talking about, their problems that they've had and whatever. And the van life influencer, and he tells him, like, I've watched all your videos, man. You're my favorite. And he's like, let me give you a tip. 24-hour gyms. You don't think he said that on one of his videos at some point?
Yeah.
You've watched all of his videos? This is news to you? That's like the first thing you learn.
Right. I know that.
Right.
I know that for, like, even if your freaking power goes off
Right.
at home, like, yeah, 24-hour gyms, buds.
Yeah.
Well, fun.
It sounds like we hated this. I didn't.
I did not
I
hate
had
it.
fun.
I just don't understand the relationship between the two main characters because it can't be partners because they don't know shit about each other.
Or if they do, they don't care.
Or they don't care.
Yeah.
Also not great.
They also didn't have any chemistry.
No. Even on the cute little... He does do some cute little dates.
Yeah.
He's trying.
Yeah.
But she's already pissy that she's there, so that's not going to work.
No. Right. No, I would never do van life. I did rent a van that size that was already tricked out like that for a long weekend.
Yeah.
And we had 3 people and a dog in it, and it was really cramped. Also, not realistic in this movie was the fact that when the van would shake and shimmy and have somebody pound on it,
fall on top of them.
nothing fell.
Yeah.
Everything would be falling.
Yeah.
Every time we went over a small bump, everything fucking fell. I'll never do it again.
Yeah.
The end.
I love things. I love looking at my things. I love outfits. You can't catch me in a van. I would not fit in a van.
I mean, I am very petite, and so I feel like I could do it more easily than some people, but...
Because you had to? Like, well, congratulations. Yeah. Yes, you could.
If
but
I had
we
to.
never would.
But I wouldn't.
But we never would.
I mean, I do like the idea of, like... Also, I just don't think you could ever do what they did and just drive your car onto a beach. I've never seen a beach you could just drive your car onto.
I don't know.
Anyway, this movie.
Well, it was... Thank God it was an off-roading van.
Yeah, good thing. What did you make
Follow
of...
the signs.
What did you make of that part at the end where she's like, well, we'll just make sure we drive during the day. Let's get to that church in the daytime. And she's driving, and then all of a sudden, she blinks, and it's nighttime.
Yeah, he has control over everything. So when are you supposed to fucking drive?
Right. How did that work? Was she sleeping while she drove?
I don't know. And they had just gassed up. And then after she was driving for a little, blinked, and it was on empty. So how long was she driving for?
While sleeping.
Well, eyes closed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that you could make something cool out of this idea for sure.
Yeah.
I like the idea of a bunch of highway fatalities being blamed on a evil spirit or a monster instead of,
Sure.
I think that's a cool idea. And this has some good scares.
And some good shots.
But you could have made a much better movie out of this.
Yeah.
For the record, listeners, I'm looking at the list I made of road trip horror movies. I mean, it's got to be Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's the best road trip horror movie.
You just love that movie.
I do, but it also is true, I think. But there's some really good ones in Southbound. We reviewed that years ago, sometime around when it came out, and there's some pretty cool segments in that. There's one called The Accident, I think is what it's called. Really gross. Really gross. But also quite good. Otherwise,
Gross and good.
I would say Duel. But also check out Rubber, because it's very funny. Now,
Meow.
let us know what you think of Passenger if you've seen it. We would love to hear your input. Okay, what have you been reading? Anything good and horror-y?
Well, I just started Never Flinch by Stephen King.
Oh, I've never heard of her.
Yeah.
What's it about? Is that a Holly Gibney one?
Sorry?
Is that a Holly one? That's his, like, recurring character that he's had in some of his modern books. She's like a detective or something.
Well, there is a detective and also a PI, but I don't remember their names right now because I'm still pretty...
Maybe she's a PI, I don't know. I only read one of her books.
But, yeah, apparently the jury that had wrongfully convicted someone is all... They're not going missing, but the guy is killing innocent people and then putting their names in the people's hands to represent the jury people that because he's taking away lives, innocent people.
Oh, okay.
So
You like
far.
it so far?
Yeah. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah. This will be your first Stephen King book. That's wild.
This is
to
the
me.
first one.
And
I mean,
it's
I've
one
seen
nobody's ever fucking heard of.
I've seen some of the movie adaptations, but
I'm sure
yeah,
you've seen lots of the movie adaptations. There's been so many.
Well, what a day!
If I was going to suggest a first Stephen King book,
It's too late. It'll have to be my second.
a second Stephen
There we
King
go.
book to somebody, I think it would be Pet Sematary.
I knew you were going to say that
Why?
because that's what everyone online says too.
Is that right?
Yeah, everyone loves Pet Sematary. I'm in a lot of spooky books and psychological thriller books, and so then they all get into their la 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 la.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'd probably go with it. It's really good, but it's so long. Jesus Christ. I bet you there's a good audiobook of it, though.
Probably.
I am reading Authority. I'm only about 60, 70 pages in. That's the second book in the Southern Reach trilogy by Jeff Vandermeer. So far, it's pretty good. A lot of people didn't like that one. That's most people's least favorite of the series. I always say it's a trilogy, but I guess there's 4 of them. I didn't realize. So, series.
Okay, so sue me.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
That's what your face gave.
Yeah.
Sue me.
People don't like Authority very much. They say it's too, like, procedural and dry. So far, I'm liking it fine. We'll see. It was nice to get a little bit more, because I've seen Annihilation a bunch of times, and I've read it twice, and it picks up where that leaves off, so I like that about it. So I'll let you know, listeners. Hopefully I'll be done with it by our next episode.
Yeah, and I'll tell you about my first Stephen King.
Yeah. For our next movie,
Go on.
listen, I can fully admit that I made a mistake. I am happy to admit when I'm wrong. It thrills me to admit when I'm wrong.
I don't think that's true, but go on. Go on.
Well, basically, it came down to last time when I was picking the movie, do we want to watch this movie by some 26-year-old who I've barely heard of, that costs very little money to make, that's about some kind of toy that you make wishes on? Or do I want to watch something by this established director that I already know makes movies that are decent? And
It sure does seem like the way that you're telling this. I know who you're going to guess or who you're going to pick, and I know it was wrong.
it was wrong.
And it was wrong.
Yeah. So I've been told by a few of our listeners now, and basically everybody else on the internet, that Obsession is really good. And so we are going to go see it tomorrow.
Yeah. Are you listening, audience? We went to see 2 movies in 3 days for you.
That's
and
right.
not because we like hanging out at the movies.
That's right. We hate going to the movies.
That's right. There's not even a song that I sing about it.
Right. So we're going to go see Obsession, and you should see it too. And you should meet us back here in 2 weeks to discuss it. And then after Obsession, because now we're behind because I screwed up,
Or we're Ed.
Well, we'll be recording them ahead of time so that we don't forget what they're about. But after Obsession, we'll be doing Backrooms.
Backrooms. Do.
Every time they showed the Bob Ross bobblehead in this movie, I kept saying, Bob Ross, do.
I did like the Bob Ross bobblehead. I didn't need her
8
happy little
references to
accidents
it?
27 times.
Right.
Yeah, we get it.
We get it.
It's Bob Ross. We know Bob Ross.
Yeah. Anyhow.
We gotta end this thing. Come on.
Obsession. Please give a review and a rating to our podcast if you have not done so. It helps more people to find us. Send your roundtable questions, comments, opinions, book recommendations to the Bloodlust podcast at gmail.com or on our website, thebloodlust.net, or you can comment on Threads, Instagram, or Facebook. We'd like to thank you for listening. Kay, thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for going to the movies 2 times in 3 days.
Yeah.
Until next time, this has been episode 302. I've been Amy.
I'm Kay.
Thank you. Good night.
And Hail Satan.
Hail Satan.
Hail Stefan King.
Stephen King.